lesson 3 is submittable evidence. You can't submit all of your evidence. It wouldn't help because it'd be too much and it would get read anyway. So the key point is to focus on proving the patterns that you have exposed. An evidence tracker helps you to do that, helps you to gather the evidence, put it in a legislative framework, and then offer all the evidence and facts that prove those patterns. So ultimately, in cases like yours, the long-term goal is not to prove the validity or the falseness of each individual incident. It is to prove a pattern of behaviour, which makes co-parenting impossible and therefore requires a robust court order to enforce or eliminate those abusive behaviours. And this really does happen in 2 main stages. So the first one is to provide enough of a counter argument to stop any false narrative and to ensure that professionals keep an open mind. At this point, you can push for a fact-finding hearing if there's been lots of allegations, or even for a guardian as well. The goal number 2 is to use all of the inconclusive or rejected allegations or the patterns that you have shown to push for additional reports, such as a psychological assessment of the Family Under Practice Directive 25. The evidence that you provide is usually in the form of a position statement, and you complete one of these at the start of the process and then in response to any reports provided thereafter. The thing is, you often do this blind in as much as you have no idea what your ex is going to say, and they do that deliberately. They leave submitting their statement right until the last minute, even sometimes going past the deadlines given, just so they can have that final bit of control over you. And it can leave you feeling quite anxious, but remember that any lies they put in the report, it's further evidence for you. Put it straight in your evidence tracker. It proves deception at the best and delusion at the worst. So whatever they write, whether it be false allegations and malicious or projection, it will actually help your case in the long run. So some pointers for writing position statements, and there is way more on this in the communication bonus module for you. It's trying to be objective and state the facts, so times and dates as much as is possible. I would also, as well, using evidence tracker, state on 4 occasions my ex has done this, and 6 occasions my ex has refused this. It adds more weight rather than those individual ones. And you can say, and I can evidence this on dates, blah, 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 blah. When you are being subjective, which you can be subjective, but do clarify that. So I will be stating, in my opinion, this shows. In my opinion, this shows. And be child-focused at all times. This family court is about you, but it is mainly about the children and protecting their welfare. In cases of false allegations or domestic abuse, many people use audio or video recordings to capture their evidence. I personally would feel fine doing that, but I would not notify your ex that you are doing it, and only ever use them if you don't have the backup of, say, CCTV. So if you're doing handovers at each other's houses and you don't feel safe, there's been allegations in the past or even physical abuse in the past, I would definitely have it so that you've got the evidence if needed. But I have put down below what the rules are on recordings. So just to sum up some fundamental tips for you, and like I say, there's more on this in the communication bonus module. Pick 3 to 4 of your strongest patterns, the one that you have the most evidence for, and then really hammer down with the evidence on those 3 to 4 examples. So pattern, 3 to 4 patterns, then 3 to 4 pieces of evidence that support that pattern. So it's really clear on what the behaviours are that are problematic. Like I say, there might be 20, 30 that are, but if we narrow down and then choose 3 or 4, that will be enough to sway a judge and Kafka, there is a problem here. There's something not quite right. Like I say, much more on that in the communication bonus module, so have a look at that.